Hello, welcome to the TechHub.training challenge Excel and VBA. Fill out an invoice using the user form. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a user form, how to assign a macro to the button which is placed in the worksheet, and transfer data entered in the user form to the invoice. To begin with, open the data template attached to the post. Now, here's what we're going to do. First, create a user form in the VBA. Write a macro to open the user form and assign the macro to the button on the Excel worksheet, which is this orange button. After that, we're going to write a macro to transfer data entered in the user form to the invoice form in the worksheet, which is this area. Now we are going to open up the VBA. So the shortcut key is Alt F11. Insert the user form to begin. I'm gonna stretch a bit and we're going to change the name and caption of it. Name is what we are going to refer to it when we are going to use this in another block of code. So it has nothing to do with what is shown on top of this user form. But caption is what is shown on top of this user form. So we are going to change this first, invoice user form. And for the name, I'm gonna say invoice user form, but I'm gonna keep it as lowercase, and I'm going to replace all the spaces to underbar. Yeah, so name them as convenient as you are. I'm just gonna put the form as FRM. Okay, so now we are going to use the toolbox to create the labels and text box. If you don't see them, click on the view on the top and click on this toolbox and this will pop up. We're going to create a label and text box on the next, the right side, and make sure to align them together well. Looks like label is a little bit shorter than text box, so I'm gonna increase a little bit. Okay, now it looks good. Since we're going to need 10 information to fill out this invoice, we're going to copy and paste of these until we got 10. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will need more room, so I'm gonna increase the size a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. We need 2 more. Okay, now we're going to put the command button, which is in the toolbox. We're going to use the command button when we are going to transfer data that user entered in this text box to the invoice form, which is placed in the worksheet. First, we are going to change the label of each label. So we are going to change the caption because that is what we are going to show to the user. We don't need to change the name of it because we're not going to refer to it in the future code. So I'm just gonna change the caption. Just put any name that you think is appropriate by looking at the invoice. We'll need customer name, their address, their phone number, whether it's credit or debit, card number. We will need inventory number, the name of the inventory, which is the item the customer is purchasing. So I'm just gonna put a description and price for each item and how many amount they're purchasing. Okay, now we are going to change the name of each text box. Because we are going to refer to it, you have to make sure you remember these names. Address, phone number. These doesn't have to be same as mine, but just put the name that is very descriptive and pretty straightforward. And you have to remember these so you can refer to it in the future code. Okay, so after that we are going to change the caption of this command button. We are going to name it as create an invoice. Once we hit this command button, what we are expecting is the data entered in these text boxes will be transferred to the invoice form placed in the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, now you're going to save it. We're going to write a code to open this user form. So we're going to start with the sub. Okay, so you can name it as whatever you want. It doesn't matter. And click on the user form. This is what we are going to refer to, so I'm just going to copy and paste this to here, and then .show. So if you run this code, that means it's going to open up the user form that we just created and save it. And now we're going to right click on this orange button to assign the macro and choose the macro that we just created and click OK. Now if we click it every time, it will show up this user form. But since we didn't do anything on this command button, this button is doing nothing. So that's what we're going to do. Again, what we're expecting is we want this data that is entered needs to be transferred to the invoice form here. So pull up the VBA again, open the module, start another set of code. We're gonna start with the sub. We're going to name this function as create invoice. We're going to declare WSS worksheet because we are going to refer to this specific worksheet. It's convenient to declare this worksheet as WS. Okay. Set WS equals this workbook sheets and invoice one, which is the name of this tab, this worksheet, right? Down below here, invoice form. Okay, so now we are going to write a code that transfers the data entered in the invoice user form to this invoice. We're going to start with ws.range. We're going to select the range where we are going to paste or transfer the data to. So looks like invoice number is at B7. Value should be from invoice user form, which is the user form that we just created, dot invoice number. And value. So what this line of code says is what we put in this invoice number section of this user form going to be transferred to invoice form worksheet D7 cell. So we're going to do other areas too. And to save time, we can copy and paste until we have 10 of these. And we're just going to change the range. Looks like the customer name is on D9. And address is D10. Phone number is D11. And the debit or credit is G9. Card number is G10. And inventory number is C15. Description is D15. Okay, price is on E15 and amount is F15. Now we are going to change this part here for every rest of the line of code. So here we named customer name as this, and do the same thing for the rest of the code. We put the address as address, phone number, credit or debit, inventory number, description, price, amount. Let's double check if I'm missing anything. There's an invoice number and customer name, address, phone number, credit or debit. Oh, I missed the card number, so I have to shift this down. By 1. Price, amount, and this needs to be card number. Okay, so we have this new function, and we're going to copy this name of this function and come back to user form and double click on the command button that we created and put the name of the function. So what this does is once you click on the command button, it will run this block of code, which is transferring the data entered in the user form to the invoice. So let's check if it's working. Okay, I'm gonna create a fake invoice number, 1234, customer name, my name, Jimmy Han, address, I'm just gonna type Provo for the time. Number, I'm just gonna create 111, 111, 1111, credit, it's credit card, 134, 134, 134, invoice number is 134, description, because it's a acoustic guitar shop, it's a guitar, price is 134, 134. Now it's transferred properly. This price is already formatted as $, and this total has function in it already. So it looks like it's working well. Thank you very much.